Alright guys, how's it going? It's still June 4th, I think anyway. I've lost track of my days, like I said. I think it's around 2 o'clock in the morning. I do believe I'm sitting at around high 40s for hours of no sleep. Just been working like a mad dog around this operation. It hasn't actually slowed down from seeding. So I'm loading. I'm getting close to being full here. I already got my chemical in. Now Rickles is loading. How's it going, Rickles? Oh, I like your knife. Let me help you. I want this one. Okay. Oh.
We're getting it done.
I don't know why we don't have a knife. It's because we always lose them. They always get underneath a pile of boxes. Like, we've got so many bags around back, like just a mountain of bagged jugs. A mountain. Woo! This will be my last load if I can successfully get this out. I'm hoping to successfully get this out. Oh, yummy, yummy, yummy. Oh!
I got some in my mouth.
I got some in mine too. I guess I shouldn't have got that close when you broke it.
Apparently. Sometimes you do it a little too hard.
Mike, why don't you just put all the bags in the jugs and do it all at the same time? Because that takes extra time and we are a race against time. Why are we a race against time? Is because the wind's getting up already, Rickles. Oh, I better watch my load. You guys can't see it because of the reflection of the lights, but I can see it. We're getting close. Yeah, so these are 77,000 US gallons each. So we can hold a mountain of water. But we're going through a mountain of water. We're spraying 10 gallons an acre. I should add that. Between 7.5 and 10 gallons an acre, depending on the conditions and the chemical that we're actually spraying. Right now we're just spraying for broadleaf, hence the 7.5. If we were spraying for broadleaf and grasses, then 10 for sure. We're getting close. That's good. That's good. That's good. Whoa. Probably gonna be some water in this. Oh, yeah. All right. All right, Rickles. How late are you going? It's like it's morning now.
It kind of feels like it.
Okay, I'll get out of your way.
Okay.
All right, let's get out of here. We'll head off to our field. I don't know what angle's better here. I think my windshield's a little dirty. I apologize about that. We're rocking out at our whopping 25, 24 miles an hour. We're speed limited when we're loaded. Ha! We don't have to go very far. I think it's 2, 4, 5 and a half miles or something. So not very far, but it seems like a long drive when you go empty back to the farm at 40 and then you reload and you go back loaded at 25. I keep saying 25. Yeah, see, I told you it will go 25. I think I was losing my mind. Alright, we just arrived at our field here. So I didn't do this field. It's been 2 different operators on this one. So first we're just gonna boom out. As soon as I drive, they'll go green. Otherwise, they'll probably stay red. Okay, we'll turn our pump on up here. There we go. Spraying at 7.5 gallons. It's our pressure. 41. Here, let me zoom in a little bit here. 41 pounds is the boom pressure, and 22 is the agitation in the tank. So, what is agitation in the tank? That's a great question. You want to keep stirring it basically in the tank. That way, none of the little granulars, because there is some granular, or maybe some of the chemicals heavier than water, and it settles out, right? So you want to keep it all agitated up there, keep it all good and stirred, so that way you have the best representation of your product in that tank going up the booms. Okay? Okay. And rule of thumb is 50% of your boom pressure should be your tank, give or take, depending on the chemical. Okay. Now I can't remember what I was going to do. Oh yeah, we're going to go spraying. Yep. So there's no headland here. Let's see if I can find this field. That's odd. Weird. Really weird. That's not going to do anything. I'm really confused why I can't find that field. I'm too tired for this. Anyways, it's because I made a first round with Tritum because there was grassies along the ditch edge here. It comes off the mowers and so on from the RMs. I made a first round with Tritum, and now we're just going up and back with just broadleaf. Tritum is the name of the full meal deal package with your broadleafs and your grassies. So we're going for 2 types of weeds in our durum. We're spraying our durum crop, by the way. What we're spraying currently, though, is just for broadleaves, octane, just for broadleaves, okay? So, rule of thumb is when you have multiple sprayers, so it's not uncommon for us, you guys, to spray with multiple sprayers on the same field. No, we do not share maps. No, we do not. You don't need to. You don't have to spend the money for it. If you got good operators, they know exactly where they are. Call it on the radio if you have any questions or something, but you always turn on the first set of tracks. So rule of thumb is there is one pass, 120 feet. This is the headland. There's the road right there, okay? We're going to start over here. Right in here, there's going to be tracks. No, that's a miss. That's a plugged run from seeding. But there will be a set of tracks in here. You probably can't see them very good or make it out in the video at night, but I can see them. So when you're flying in here, you're turning off on that first. So as soon as your tire tracks right here cross his, turn it off. And you won't miss, and it'll be perfect every time. And as soon as you go out crossing his tracks, turn it on. It'll be perfect every time. Rule of thumb is if you need to cross the headland and you're not spraying, you always keep your set of tracks on the inside. Remember, because the other operators, they're coming in and they don't know what you've been doing. Maybe you've been driving around recklessly and been driving on this side of the tracks. They don't know. They're turning off on the first set of tracks that they see. So you better make sure that the first set of tracks that they see are the ones that are actually the width of that 120-foot headland. Not you recklessly doodling, going out over here, because they're going to turn off on that set of tracks, and then you're going to have a miss, okay? So that's a little snippet of spraying 101 around our camp, and the list goes on from how we go around rock piles to how we fill in to how we go around sloughs to how we fill those in. It's a very long list, and to be quite honest, see if you guys can see me here. To be quite honest, normally at the beginning of the season we do a little refresher. Like I actually have like a pop quiz. I actually made a pop quiz. I know, blows my mind too. I can't remember how long it is. It might be 50 questions or something, and there is some math in there as well, just to see how they calculate to make sure everybody's on, that they're doing the formulas right. So that way you can top up a tank. So say you're doing 320 acre loads, and you have 187 acres in, and all the jugs are always 20 acres a jug, or 40 acres a jug, or 80 acres a jug, and you have to put 3 different types of product in. How much product you're going to have to put in to top up your load? And So you have to figure out, first of all, the first thing you have to figure out is how much product that you actually currently have in your tank, and it depends on what water volume you put it on. So there's different math questions like that. I was a pesticide applicator, as you guys know that, and I since don't do that anymore, but and then there's lots of different rules of thumb and how we operate, so that way you can run multiple sprayers at night without any shared mapping. But that's a whole other thing. Anyways, let's get spraying. Well, I don't know about you, Mike, but I think it'd just be a whole heck of a lot easier if you just got the shared mapping for everybody, because then you don't have to do any little training courses. You don't have to worry about operators screwing up, or you know, you can see what the other 3 sprayers have been mapping out there, all your sectional control and AccuBoom, and everything's going to work. You know, it just seems like it'll be a whole heck of a lot easier to me. And you know what? To a point, you are right. It would be a whole heck of a lot easier. In fact, it'd be too easy. Because you know what, you guys, technology fails. It's bound to happen. It will happen. Heck, we can't even keep our GPSs going half the time. So it's gonna fail. So when it does fail, when you're mapping, shared mapping, when you lose cellular service, which that never happens out here in Southwest Saskatchewan, now all of a sudden you got operators out there who don't know what the crap they're doing. Because all they've been used to is just painting in lines or filling in behind something. Oh, it's just all so easy. They're just literally waiting until it shuts off. That would be like leaving your switch on. I could leave my master switch. This is my master switch, by the way. If I had my headland, which I don't have already, remember we established that was a different sprayer, but if I had my headland up there, I would not even have to turn my master switch off, because it would turn off my whole sprayer. As soon as I go into the green, it turns it off. It won't over apply. Well, you know what? I tell my guys all the time, make sure you turn that freaking master switch off. Because if you don't get in the habit of turning that master switch off, one of those times you're going to go into your headland, and yes, you're right, yeah, it would turn it off, and then you're going to lift your boom because you're going to swing it over a fence line or something, so that way you can do your turn and come back into the next pass. And since you did not turn off your master switch, as soon as that boom leaves that green paint, it's automatically going to start spraying on the neighbor's ground. So it's just things, it's muscle memory. If you don't do it, you won't use it. And if you don't use it, you won't do it. So that's not how I roll. I don't want to make things too easy. I want to have operators out here that know what the crap they're doing. And but you know what? So for some people it works awesome, and I'm sure it would be nice. But I have no plans of getting that on any of our sprayers anytime soon. Now that I went through that little rant, sorry guys, I'm getting edgy out here. I'm getting tired, I guess, and hungry, so on and so forth. So I do apologize, but I just gotta get this load off, and Oh, Mike, why are you pushing so hard? That's a great question. You know what? That is actually a really valid question. Well, we haven't had a lot of good spray days, you guys. We've had some 37 degrees Celsius heat. You got to shut down around 26, 27 degrees Celsius, depending on which product you're using. You might even have to shut down 25. Some of the weeds, like kochia and Russian thistle, they'll actually start going dormant once it gets hot, and then they just won't take in any of the chemicals. So what's the sense of spraying them? It's not going to take it in. And then another factor would be that your chemical can evaporate quicker. It can dry off quicker, maybe before the plant can actually accept the chemical. There's lots of different factors that go into the heat. Also your crop, your crop is already stressed. It doesn't like it. It's getting sunburnt out there. It's not loving life. And then you're just going to go and you ever had a sunburn from the sun being hot? You turned red, and then you had that one buddy that came up and slapped you on the back so stinking hard. That's what we're doing, all right? Because the crop is already stressed from drought. Yes, we had a rain, but we're still dry. We're still very dry. We have zero water laying around anywhere. Zero water, okay? We're still very dry, and we are still in desperate need of another rain yet again. So anyway, the crop is drought stressed, and all of a sudden we went from snow on the ground, literally snow on the ground a couple weeks ago, to freezing to plus 37. I think it was 37, might have only been 36, but anyways, that's a pretty extreme temperature swing. Even for southwest Saskatchewan, that's pretty extreme. So the poor little crop out here, it doesn't know what to think. It's not loving life. It's sunburnt, and I'm coming along and I'm slapping it as hard as I can on the back. It's not liking that, okay? So, rant over. Basically, we've had heat, so we have to spray in the evenings, we have to spray at night. Also, it's getting windy during the days. You know, like I always say, we spray in 30k winds, which we do, but 50, 60, 70 kilometer winds is getting a little bit excessive. And I've been looking at the forecast, and I'm seeing a lot of wind coming our way. There's a low pressure system apparently that's coming through, and it's bringing a lot of wind, pushing this high out, which is good. It's going to cool us down, but it's going to come with wind. So we're going to push some hours. Mike, are the other guys running as many hours as you? And Mike, how many hours have you run? That's a very good question. I actually have lost count. I don't know. It's somewhere in the high 40s for sure. It's been a few days anyway. I just keep getting another wind, and I don't know, but I'll have a 20-minute power nap here and a 20-minute power nap there, and I'm good. But the other guys, no, they're not as crazy as me. Well, Mike, I still have questions, buddy. Why don't you just wait until the wind blows through, calms down, the temperature drops to a normal June 1st, June 4th temperature, whatever the date it is, and then you're all's well. Well, you can't do that because this crop is growing very fast. We have a lot to do, and the crop is growing very fast. So basically, you got to start before you got to start when it's too early, and you're pretty much finishing when it's too late. What I mean by that is crop staging. So, depending on what chemical you're using, you can hurt the crop if it's too young, and you can hurt the crop if it's too mature. And by hurting the crop, you can set the crop back, and you can actually have yield reduced. You can have losses. So we don't want to have that. And then there's also the other thing. Well, the weeds are growing just as fast as the crop is. And so if you don't kill those weeds, like I told you, they're sucking up the crop's nutrients. They're taking its food. How would you like your buddy over there? Not only did he slap you on the back, but now he's eating your food. No, I'm the one slapping him on the back with the chemical, but you know what I mean. He's eating your food and drinking your water. Yeah, that's not a good friend. Oh man. But anyways, I'm losing my mind out here, guys. I'm really starting to lose it. But so basically, crop will stage out, weeds will get too advanced. You only have a certain window to get all your spraying done, and we got a lot to do, and our window is getting small, and so we just got to start pushing so that way we can catch up. Well, Mike, why don't you just get more sprayers? Well, I could say the same thing about why don't we get more grain bins? Why don't we have more semis? Why don't we have more air drills so we can finish in maybe 2 weeks instead of a month? Why don't we have twice as many combines? Every farmer says the exact same thing. Why don't I have this? Why don't I have that? But reality is there's only so much money to go around, so you better pick and choose where you want all your coin. Where's the value? You're going to have sprayers, you're going to have trucks, you're going to have combines, and so on and so forth. But you gotta try and find that fine line. You need just enough sprayer power to get you done, because maybe for that other sprayer that you kind of need, you really need another combine more, or whatever. I'm just using these as examples. And every farmer is the same way. They're all pushing, trying to get all their spraying done, or trying to get all their seeding done, or all their harvest done, and that's just what farmers do. To be quite honest with you, that's just what we do. Sorry, I'm not trying to make you sick here. Alright guys, I've rambled on enough, and to be quite honest, my throat's getting sore from talking, which rarely happens, but it is. My nose is kind of running. I don't know, that's kind of a weird thing. Maybe I got COVID or something, but I think it's just because I'm overly tired. I don't have the hiccups yet, but I feel like they're coming. Mostly, whatever, I'm starting to ramble, slurring my words. So, I'm going to let you guys go. You guys have a freaking awesome one. I'll be probably another 2 hours out here, I would say, give or take. And then we're gonna boom up, pack up, move back home, go home, shower, eat some supper, and we're gonna wake up because there's something in our yard that I already told you guys about, and it's literally just sitting there. And I have, again, a small window with that, but I told you guys that farming comes first. I've always told you farming comes first. So I'm gonna try to get my butt out of bed in the morning and show you the surprise that we have. Okay, guys, adios amigos. You guys are awesome. I have the best subscribers on YouTube. Yep, yes I do. Adios.